Hello, wonderful traders. Dadas here, talking to you from the Dadas Trading Room on the Discord platform. Of course, everybody is invited to join my Discord server, Dadas Trading Room, and the invitation is below in the descriptions. Please join us. We are both in Polish and in English. I can speak English well enough so that I can converse with you, and I'm probably even more proficient in texting than chatting, than voice chatting. Okay, so yeah, please join us. Now, daily recap for today. Now, what happened today? Well, basically, the DAX index had a bullish rally practically the whole day from the beginning. It opened with a bullish gap, not a big one, around, I think, 70 pips or something like that. Well, relatively not a big one. And it practically with smaller and bigger pullbacks, but relatively small pullbacks, it continued rallying upwards. Now, as you can see, this is my last trade of the day today. The last trade of the day today was taken through my regular Raincoat Trading expert advisor. So basically, I measured it out here on the. Was it like that? Well, let's let's first find the trade. No, it wasn't like that. It was more like that, right? Yeah, it was like that. And I was basically waiting here for the price to bounce off. Then I went to do something. I came back. I saw this green candle and these signals. So something like an upside down head and shoulders, right? Or reverse head and shoulders. We got a shoulder, head, shoulder, and the price rallied up and then made this pullback. And I decided to get in on this pullback, so I switched on my expert advisor here, and the expert advisor triggered the trade. And now my expert advisor set for break even trailing stop. I mean break even plus at 5.5 pips, and that's exactly what happened right here. My trailing stop got trailed to after this 5.5 pips, but the price continued up, right? The price continued up, but all of a sudden it started coming back down, and I was even worried for a moment that my trailing stop would get taken out as usual, but luckily it didn't, and the price reversed and started a somewhat upwards movement. I saw about 25 pips on the counter, so I decided to close manually, and I got 20 pips, which is relatively good for this type of trading. Now, when I was doing the Polish version of the daily recap, I was a little bit earlier here, and I said that probably by the end of the day the price might reach the profit. Well, it's now considered the end of the day by my rules. I mean, the moment we get 1 minute right here, we won't see that 1 minute probably. So yeah, so the market is now during a break that is gonna before the let's say the actual end of the day will be in one more hour, but perhaps the market is going to do something in that hour or not. It might even open with a gap upwards. So anyways, the market almost reached this level. Now basically the daily candle right now is 876 pips from low to high, so the range is standard, relative standard, on the high side, on a bit high side. Yeah, but yesterday it was there were even more pips, like 950. So yeah. However, the market volatility today was relatively smaller. I think I saw 70 something pips, the highest on the M15, on the ATR of M15, but I even saw 40 today. So basically the market wasn't so crazy. However, you see the Renko bars here are a little bit are bigger, are 15 pips instead of 2.5 pips, right? Because of the spread, because the spread is higher. Even though today the spread was relatively low, it was from well in the morning. I mean, in the morning, on the opening of the Frankfurt session, it was more like 5.8 pips, but then later on it went down even to 3 pips. And it's it's been 3 pips in the evening, let's say. Those are not the only trades I took today. I also took 2 other trades. Those trades I didn't take on this chart. Those trades I took over here on this context. So in other words, I was playing with my DSWS, so Data Secret Weapon Strategy indicator with lot calc. I was playing with it and a little bit modifying it, because basically my basic idea is to figure out the best method to figure out the to predict, or at least if not predict much earlier, then predict as soon as possible the level that the price is bouncing off at and returning to the trend. So in other words, the basic idea right here was this, but I kind of got in. I got in here when the price was moving down, and then it bounced off right here and started going up. But this wasn't really a good place to get in long, because the pivot is somewhere right there, and so a much better place would have been after the second retest. And then, when the price would be going up, so there is enough room right here. So in other words, this is basically why I closed this trade right there manually, because it gave me a little bit of a scare, like going down, and I thought, oh boy, and the market wasn't really moving that fast right there, so. Basically, I figured out I gotta get out of this trade, since I'm in profit, and this is a potential point of resistance, and also the scandal could have suggested some supply, right? The scandals could have suggested supply zone, and it could have been possible that the market would start a pullback or a correction downwards. So that's the basic reason why I got out from this trade right there. Now the second trade was a little bit better, but it wasn't really better. It was better in the sense of pips, because I got 60 pips right there. But it wasn't better in the sense of the way I entered it, because basically the way I entered it was you can say it was tragedy, right? It was a complete tragedy, because basically I entered like a total noob, yeah, like person who has no experience at all, and I entered because I thought, oh, they're going up, so maybe they're gonna be going up. Yeah, but you know, as usual, that would have been a perfect short trade for me. Yeah, that would have been a perfect 70 pips short trade for me if I had gotten in short right there, not long. But anyways, yeah, when the price was moving up already, I started trailing it, and you know, because this move was pretty dynamic, and I trailed it, and the price moved back and took out the trailing stop. And yeah, but you see, basically the price more or less again stopped at this level, consolidated, and then started going up again, and up and up and up and up and even higher. And you can see that the whole day, that was yesterday, so you see that the whole day was practically from here was the opening gap. So basically this market here was, we can say it was flat, but the level right here, so that there would have been a strong demand zone. It held pretty strongly, and the market started going up. We can also see that right here on our standard charts on the DADAS trading system, right? 2020, so 2020. So you can see that more clearly how the market behaved today, right? Yeah, but you know, it's always like that. If we only knew that the market would have been going all the way up there today, right? We would have made a lot of money. Yeah, but we don't know. We have to trade what's going, right? So basically, I was working today with my with this indicator, with my DADAS secret weapon strategy. Yeah. So basically, let's turn on some ticks right now, because we will need some ticks right now. Okay, so now we got some ticks. Let's turn this on. I'll show you what I was working on. You know, I've made 2 videos in Polish, and I'll have to sit down and make videos in English about it. Anyways, I was working on this indicator so that it would it still doesn't work like that. Oh, now it does. Okay. I was working on this option here, the option recalculate by lines. So if that's a new option, and if I do that, I will get the possibility. In other words, in this option, in recalculate by lines, I have two lines, the S1 and the R1 line, that I can move, and clicking on other candles will have no effect. However, I can move these candles, these lines, and the whole thing will recalculate, right? The whole ruler, or the DADAS secret weapon DSWS, will recalculate itself. So in other words, we can use it then to plot zones, like taking into consideration some kind of consolidations, right? So if we have a consolidation, we can measure out the whole consolidation instead of just one candle. So this option simply allows us to use this tool more freehand, sort of, like to take any amount of candles into consideration. All we need to do is find some kind of a low or whatever, right? Or some kind, let's say, yeah, like this, and then we have a breakout. I mean, the ideal situation would have been that the price would retest at the levels and then go back up, right? That would be the ideal situation. Okay, so that's what I was working on some modifications there, and I also need to recheck everything in my expert advisor, the DSWS 2020 expert advisor EA. So yeah, so that I'm 100% sure that everything is working properly, and then I can publish it out to other people to use at their free will, of course. And because you always have to remember that these are only helping tools, and they absolutely don't guarantee any profit or loss. They are not financial advisors, because they're not telling you when you are to make a trade, or when you are to close a trade, or when you are to withhold from a trade. No, these tools are not telling you that. They are just helpers. They are sort of like a bunch of lines that are helping us to find the right context for the market, right? Okay. So please join my Discord server, because on the Discord server you can find all these videos, right? Also historical videos from previous daily recaps and podsumowanie dnia in Polish, and daily recaps right here. We can talk about the current situation. We can chat, text chat, or we can voice chat right there, or I can help you with programming. There are some freebies, and also there is this Dada's tool shop right here that you can find videos about my tools. At this moment there are videos in Polish, but there you will also find videos in English, or maybe I'll make a separate channel here, and I'll simply rename this with add a PL, and then on the other one I'll make an EN, so that to make sure that you'll find the English videos in the English channel. Now, okay, if you become my patron on patreon.com/Dada's Trading System Workshop at the level of $17 per month, you will become a VIP person here on this Discord server, on my Dada's Trading Room Discord server, and you will be granted access to special channels where you will find special videos only for patrons, and you will be granted access to many more other privileges, like videos on demand, where you can order a topic that I will discuss especially for you and for other patrons, of course. And and you can also get simple indicators from me. Of course, it's not like you just sign up for 1 month and you'll get everything for free. No. You need to be signed up for a while, like let's say 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? And then you'll be able to get some more stuff, right? And basically, if you I have this rule that all your money paid as my patron accumulates, and if you accumulate enough money for 6 hours of my Dada's Trading System Workshop, then you will be, of course, this workshop isn't 6 hours, in one session. It's like 2 sessions at 3 hours. Well, that's if you have a problem with 3 hours, it can be 3 sessions at 2 hours, but preferably 3 hours. Okay, because 3 hours isn't really that much when you have something to talk about. Yeah, so if you accumulate enough money for those 6 hours, you'll get my whole data trading system. This one, right? So the one with all these indicators and also associated with this Renko bar charts, right? You'll get this system for free. As far as this simplified system is concerned, well, basically you can get it as well, but like I say, you need to be my patron for some time, or you need to simply ask me and I will tell you. I priced this system at 150 euros, which includes 3 hours of my data trading system workshop. Or in other words, I will simply guide you through the installation and help you understand how all these things here work and what they are for. Okay. Thank you for today. Well, please stay safe. Please stay at home if you need to stay at home. We got to get through these difficult times, or difficult or whatever. Uncertain times, and we have to, as long as we can, we have to go on and create. In other words, now is the time to prepare for future profits, for future profits and for the future better life. Okay, thanks a lot. See you next time.